And now on CRN Radio, it's time for Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore. And now, here's Dr. Baltimore.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. I have a treat for you today. If you heard this morning that the mortgage rate is 3.83 fixed, you are right. And I have some bankers here from a wonderful bank called First Republic Bank of Century Park East, 1888 Century Park East, Century City. I have the manager, Norma Arujo, and she will talk to you about your needs if you call in. And with her is the senior, I can't see, I just had surgery, senior preferred banker. Now, he's not a senior, I'm the senior, but he's the preferred banker in seniority. That's what that means. So he's here, Paul Kai. And so Norma and Paul, how are you? Hello, Norma.
Oh, we're great. Thanks for having us.
And thank you for coming. And you too, Paul. We're going to pick your brains. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So now everybody that's here on the radio, I want to give you my number and Norma's number and Paul's number, same number. We'll talk to you if you have a question on any of the things we're going to discuss today. Relationship banking, full service banking. Is it time to refi? Is it time to discuss a reverse mortgage? And what are the challenges in your senior years on a fixed income? We can talk about any of those or all of those as we go through the morning. So the first question I have for you, Norma, is what do you think is relationship banking? And then I want to tell you my version.
Well, I think the experience that we've had when you and I met.
Oh, you're stealing my version.
You can share a little bit about your situation.
Okay.
I mean, we tend to look at things holistically. We'll look at an entire relationship, not just a transactional situation, and which is one reason we got together.
I'll tell that story because it's very interesting and it's important. I had two properties and I wanted to refinance both of them because it was time. The rates were getting lower. And so I went into the bank and said we should refinance both of them. And I called my son and he called the banker, and the banker was Norma, that young lady that you just heard. And she said, no, you don't have to refinance both of them. You have to pay off one and put the money into the second and refinance the second. Well, that was like a startling idea. And that's what we did. So now I have one free property, no mortgage, reconveyed to me. And the other one has a reasonable and manageable note, which I like because I don't have to think about it every night. Am I going to make it? I am going to make it. Right. And so that's what's happening. And Norma did that for me. Now that is relationship banking, because I didn't come in for one note, refi, do this, put it. I wouldn't have even been able to spell all of that. So she did it for me. So that's what I think is. Do you have other things to say about relationship banking, Norma?
Yeah, and I think, again, taking a holistic approach to things, the inquiry that had come, when I first spoke to your son was simply general question that we get all the time. We want to refinance, what are rates? And rather than just quoting a rate, which happens day in and day out, it's, the rate's at 4, the rate's at 3.8. It's basically taking a look at the big picture. Tell me what you're trying to accomplish. What's the goal? A lot of individuals are, we kind of segue into mortgages, but people tend to rate shop a lot. So we like to get to know the client, take a look at all aspects, whether it's the deposit side of things, the lending side of things. Everyone is at a different station in their life. Their financials
That's
are,
part of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's more of a big picture. Paul, in terms of the deposit side of things.
I think there's a common story that we tend to hear, but I think we'll talk.
This is Paul Kai, ladies and gentlemen.
So.
Senior banker, but not a senior guy.
He's the youngster.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a story that I'll discuss right after this commercial break.
Okay, we have to do that first.
Come to